In today's video, we'll be diving into the Mapimí Silent Zone. You may not have heard of this before, so we want to give you a brief overview of what exactly this is before we get into the real juicy stuff. The Mapimí Silent Zone, also known as La Zona del Silencio, is an area located in the northern part of Mexico, specifically in the Mapimí Desert, which is part of the Chihuahuan Desert. It gained fame due to claims of strange occurrences and anomalies similar to the Bermuda Triangle, which is a very dangerous part of the North Atlantic Ocean, also known as the Devil's Triangle. One of the most famous incidents associated with the Mapimí Silent Zone occurred in 1970 when a U.S. Athena missile launched from the White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico went off course and crashed into the region. Several myths and legends surround the area, including reports of magnetic anomalies, radio signal disruptions, and encounters with strange creatures. However, much of the mystique surrounding the Mapimí Silent Zone has been debunked, with many of the reported phenomena attributed to natural geological features and human error. But we will still explore how these theories came about and how they could still very much be true. Nonetheless, the Mapimí Silent Zone continues to attract interest from tourists, conspiracy theorists, and researchers intrigued by its enigmatic reputation. Now that you all know a little bit about the Mapimí Silent Zone, let's get into how this occurs and how it could be very possible that it is alien activity or any other possible reasons for the strange activity. Then, we will explore if there are any other areas like this, and finally, we will end up on why so many people visit the desert until this very day. Let's get right into it. It is normal for lightning to be a common occurrence in warmer countries such as Mexico, but what goes on in the Mapimí Silent Zone is nothing ordinary. As we spoke about earlier on in the video, a US missile accidentally landed in the area, and ever since, there have been strange activities happening. Now the question is, what was this missile all about? It was for a test, and it did not land where they wanted it to, and ever since, strange things have happened. So what was in the missile? With Area 51, who knows what the US government were testing on, and this missile could have been something to do with aliens. And it happened to have landed in the Mapimí Desert. So, the reason for all of this unusual activity is because of the missile has something that the government did not want anyone else to see. And now, it has created this silent zone. The occurrences of paranormal activity cannot be explained really other than the US missile causing it all to happen, but for everything that does go on like radio signal failures, there is no real explanation, which has resulted in a lot of conspiracy theories being floated about. One reason could have not been for a missile attack, but a meteor attack millions of years ago that made all of these electromagnetic activities to happen and put that on top of the missile from the US. This is why all of the strange activities are happening due to the amount of force and electric forces that have been put on one singular area over time. So, the main theory to the reason to why strange things happen in the desert is that either it was something that came out of a US missile in 1970, a meteor strike millions of years ago, or both of those that has caused the Mapimí Desert to be what it is today. What do you think about the Mapimí Silent Zone? What was the cause of the area being like it is in today's day and age? Do make sure that you drop a comment below and let us know what you think. Next up, we want to talk a little bit about what actually happens at the Mapimí Silent Zone throughout the years, and a couple of theories that have come from the place itself. First off, we touched a little bit on it earlier, and it is of course something to do with aliens. There have been claims in and around the area with local villagers just a couple of months ago in March of 2024, saying that they're living amongst aliens with several sightings of strange objects in the air around the desert. With all of the electrical force in the area, this may be a hotspot, shall we say, for aliens to go, or for the US government to test with aliens, which has resulted in all of this electromagnetic force around the place. So, there is some possibility that aliens are somehow connected to the Mapimí Silent Zone, but for now, we will never get a definitive answer, but it is very odd what is happening in Mexico. Some further theories regarding the Silent Zone are that it is used for government experiments, and these could be ones that they do not want people to see. This can include anything to do with the testing of nuclear weapons and just anything to do with advanced technology. hence why all these strange activities happen in the desert. Another theory to what happens in the Mapimi Silent Zone is that due to the pure location of the place, it just happens because of the natural energy vortex. This is just like the Bermuda Triangle as we discussed earlier, and then there is no explanation other than just where it sits on the planet. It just causes all these strange occurrences to happen. Overall, there is no real concrete explanation or theory to explain what happens in the Mapimi Silent Zone, but we will just have to wait and see if anything else changes in due course. What do you think is the main thing that happens in the Mapimi Desert? Could it be aliens? Could it be the natural energy vortex? Or could it be something else? Drop a comment below and let us know what you think in the comments below. We now want to look at if there are any areas on the planet which are like this that have strange occurrences, and there is no obvious explanation. Of course, we have the Bermuda Triangle, which we have just mentioned several times, but that is a place in the ocean where ships disappear and just other odd things go down. Another place similar to the Mapimi Silent Zone is the Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, USA, where UFOs have been seen several times. But also strange creatures have also been spotted, and once again, there is no explanation to why this happens. It is just like the Mapimi Silent Zone, where strange things will happen due to the positioning on the planet. Another place which is unexplainable in the USA is Mount Shasta, which is located in California, where a dormant volcano is located, and it is surrounded by what is said to be hidden cities from the volcano exploding. It is also believed by many that there is a lot of spiritual activity and paranormal activity just like the Mapimi Silent Zone, where odd things happen with no explanation once again. So there are many other places on the planet which are similar to the Mapimi Desert in what happens, and us as humanity will not know the true answers for all these unexplained places. But it is for sure interesting to find out more as the years go by. Finally, we want to end today's video by looking at why do people visit the desert to this very day. One of the many reasons is due to spiritual belief, and that they just want to get to feel the energy in the air of the desert, as it is said to be very unique and how it feels different to anywhere else in the world. It is one of those places you will want to go to because of how there is nowhere else on the planet like it, and out of curiosity, you will want to see what all the hype is about. For all of you watching the video, if you are ever in the area, you should for sure go and check it out. It is also a hotspot for people wanting to investigate paranormal activity, as people all over the world try and come together to find out what actually happens at the Mapimi Silent Zone, and we would all love to know what the answer to that question really is. We will just have to wait and see. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and make sure that you subscribe for more videos just like this one, and you do not want to miss out.